What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions.
I left alone, my mind was blank. I needed time to think and get the memories from my mind. What did I see?
And hello everyone, welcome once again. My name is Logan and this is Decode Your Reality. Today we're doing one on a very special topic, one I've been working on for a very long time. We're talking not months, years. This is 666. We're talking about Revelation 603 6. This is the number of the beast decoded. And I have a lot of information to show all of you, so please stay with me. I can assure you it will be well worth the time you're going to invest in this video. Now, the actual graphic I have here is from the 2019 movie Godzilla, which of course talks about the Titans, making the Titans come alive again. The word Titan equals 22. That matches up with alchemy and change and titanium. That's for another story, but notice here you have Godzilla's nemesis sitting on a pyramid. And that represents the root chakra. The cross right here represents the heart chakra. So we're talking about the chakra points 1 through 4, or the 4 down to the 1. Now keep in mind the word Satan equals the number 14. So that should tell you where the 666 comes into play. Now these are my methods of decoding. Number 1, I use numerology. No, I don't use gematria. Actually, this is Derek's site and he's got it wrong. I wish he'd fix it. Derek, you need to fix this because this is not gematria that we're doing. We're using numerology. Gematria is the Hebrew practice of coding letters into numbers, and we're not doing that, ladies and gentlemen. We're decoding letters into numbers, just the opposite of gematria. So that's what we're using, numerology. And then I also use the decimal digits of pi. I believe the cosmic egg, the 0, which is infinite, holds all the numbers, and we can measure that. One of the websites, evanderson.com, you can type in any number you want right here, and it'll show you all the digits. This is all the digits of this is 666 digits past the decimal place of the 3 point. And then, of course, you can get a total tally of that and then measure that through alchemy. You also can figure out what number is inside the digits of pi. You can type in 666. It'll show you where it sits in the 3 point, and the 666 appears at the 2,440th decimal digits of pi. And then, of course, I use alchemy. And I've shown this over and over with supporting evidence. It's irrefutable at this point. Some of you don't want to agree. That's cool, but I have irrefutable supporting evidence showing that the spoken word are spells that we speak and they can be measured through alchemy. And that's turning lead into gold, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, we need to get a photograph, a picture of it. And then, of course, that's where we bring the tarot into this. And no, for those of you that follow the Bible, this is not divination. I'm not using this to predict future outcomes. I'm using this to decode reality. And each of these cards are numbered, which line up with each of these elements that are numbered. So those are my methods of decoding. And of course, I have a couple other tricks up my sleeve, but those are the basic fundamentals. Now, starting off on the slide, Revelation 13:18, of course, is the famous scripture of the number of the beast, the number of a man, because that's us. We are the 666. We inherited that number through the sine wave or the sin wave, which is found right here in the root to the heart chakra. You're not going to get out of this matrix reality, ladies and gentlemen, until you win the game of life, and that's winning the heart chakra. Notice it's green. And, you know, Krypton, which was Superman's nemesis, was green. Notice the last element is Krypton, the 36th element. But this is the great beast right here. This is the 666, ladies and gentlemen. If you add up the numbers 1 through 36, you're going to get 666. That's a no-brainer. Most of you decoders know that. But if you add up the atomic weights of the most abundant aspects of these elements, you're going to get 1,442, which breaks down to this 6469. That has significance. I'm not going to go into that tonight, though, because it's a little bit more advanced. But Revelation 13:18, it's the aspects of aluminum and argon. And when you divide those, because, you know, that's what the verse is all about, look what it gives you. Let me zoom in. It's 0.666. And I've shown this already. I've kind of give you guys a sneak peek of this slide. But again, what are the odds? Well, they're very good when you understand how to decode correctly. And again, I'm going to digress. I'm not here to try to be Mr. Showboat or like I have all the answers and you don't. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to show you my truths and my opinions. If you don't agree with them, that's cool. That's totally cool. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm here to show you what I've found, and I'm here to back it up with multiple layers, not just, well, hey, I found this date and all that. I'm showing you math into alchemy, into tarot, into pictures, into multiple systems. Like, you know, this is a Vedic system. And if you don't understand the Vedic system, well, how can you understand alchemy? Because it's all intertwined. It gives us multiple layers. So pi, 666 decimal digits in, is the number 2961. And when we measure that through alchemy, we get helium, fluorine, carbon, and hydrogen. And then we go over to our trusty calculator. It just so happens that adds up to the number 36. And I just showed you the last element is Krypton, the 36th element, which is the ending, the capstone of the beast, Krypton. K, and there's great significance for that as well. But Krypton, Superman, that's why Superman is all tied to that. You think these guys that wrote the comics didn't know that? They may or may not have. Maybe they were just, you know, writing these things and being inspired through something of outside sources. I totally believe that, by the way. But notice it's 36. And then, of course, numerology-wise, 2961 equals 59, and who created Earth equals 59. I have more to go on this. I know this is a little loose, but I have more to go to show you about the 59 because I'm going to blow you away when I show you that. Now, the elements, the 5 and 9, is boron and fluorine, and those add up to the number 30.007, but the 30 is the big standout there. And that relates to God, the word God, because I'm going to show you that, because the word God ends up being 30 as well. So that ties to the 59 and 2961 and the 666. So that also ties to the word Demiurge. Now, if you've studied any of the Gnostic texts or any of the Gnostic aspects, you'll know all too well about the Demiurge. It's actually in the old philosophy as well. It's talked about in the ancient texts, the Demiurge, which runs this matrix reality. And the word Demiurge, you know, it's an 8-letter word. 8's very significant. It's the ending of everything. And here is the aspects of alchemy with the word Demiurge. And when we go over to our trusty calculator, we add that up. We end up getting the 64.069. Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow my work, and maybe you haven't, but you know how important the 69 or 96 is. And I always give credit to John Petrie because he's the guy who introduced me to the 69 and 96. You should follow his work. The guy's he's brilliant. He shows a lot of stuff. He shows the wars and how the 96 and the 69 are tied into that stuff. Him and I are going to do something very soon. I can guarantee you that because we are closely connected. Our last names are off by 1 letter, so I already know there's some significance there. But anyway, Demiurge, 30, total 30. But the alchemy of it is 64. There's 64 squares on a chessboard. Do you think the person who created chess knew that? Probably not, but divinely guided, abso-friggin-lutely. The word Jehovah equals the number 30, just like that of Demiurge. Is Jehovah the Demiurge? I'd like to think so. And, why do I have Jesus Lucifer here? Because it's the mirror of the 64. It's the 46. I believe Jehovah has a personality, and the personality is Jesus and Lucifer, the brother and sister, the yin and the yang, the black and the white. And that's why there's black and white on the chessboard, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, last but not least, on this graph, the numeric string 30, which is right here, appears at the 64th decimal digit of pi. Obviously, because it's strongly connected. Now, this is where it really gets interesting, because I talked about the 59, who created Earth, and then, of course, 666 in the decimal digits, and then, of course, through alchemy is 2961. And that leads me to the 59th element. Now, you have to understand the numbers on this, okay? Because you have to understand that, yes, most people in numerology will add this up. They'll say, well, it's a 14 and that leads to a 5. Yes, perhaps. But why not leave it alone? Now, if you studied any of Aleister Crowley's work, the Book of the Law, the Book of the Lies, in there it says, the 18, to the fool it would be a 9. But to the wise one, it'd just be the 18. And there may be great significance to that. So do we leave these numbers alone? 59. Think of it as in terms of levels of this dimensional playing field. 5 would be the 5th level, then 60 would be the 6th level, and 70th would be the 7th level, and so on. So if we look at it from that aspect, this is the 50, but it's the ending of the 50. And of course, 5 in numerology and 5 in astrology, the house of astrology, the number 5 house of astrology is the house of manifestations. It's where your mojo, where your sex runs everything. It's where government and politics and religion all lie on. The 5th, and of course in the Vedic system, the 5th chakra is the throat chakra. It's where we speak our spells. Without speaking, you ain't gonna do much manifesting. So I know this is an important element. Now keep in mind, praseodymium, that's the element, and look at what it equals in numerology, the number 46. And of course that matches up with Jesus and Lucifer. And again, I already have it right, who created Earth right there, 59. And of course that makes sense because 9 is a master number and 5 is the number of manifestations. It's a master manifester. That's what it means. Dymium means magnet. And of course, this is the picture that the Royal Society of Chemistry decided to choose to use for their website. Now, I don't know if they purposely did it or they did it being divinely guided, but it doesn't matter because the twins means Jesus Lucifer. That's the personality of the creator, ladies and gentlemen. There, I said it. The personality of the creator of this matrix reality is Jesus and Lucifer. That's it. There's a big hint right there. Let's keep going. This is green twin. Now, if you go to the Royal Society of Chemistry's website, let me back up here and show you on the 59th element, they give you clues. The origin of the name right there. You got to study these things, uses and properties. It'll tell you right here. It's for the sign Gemini, the twins. Who are the twins? It's Jesus and Lucifer. Hello? That's the twins, the green twins. And of course, green means heart. Heart chakra. That's green. Do you realize the heart in the playing cards, cards of illumination, the heart actually was a piece of ivy and it was green and then they turned it red. Go study the history on it. That dates back to Germany. Playing cards. Green was the first part of it, and then it was turned to red. So hearts. They want to win your heart. That's green. That's why Krypton, Superman, it's all green. The heart chakra is green. So the green twin in Greek, this is the actual breakdown of the words green twin in Greek. And I mean, look at the numbers it gives us. Green is 117, which matches up with the speed of light and the Great Pyramid of Giza, the height to base ratio. And then 69, I don't have to say anything. Twin is 69 in Greek. 69 is the yin and the yang. It's Jesus and Lucifer. It's the dualistic personality of the creator of this matrix reality. Now we'll go even further. The guy who discovered this element, Carl Welsbach, his full name equals the number 69. You gotta stop and ask yourself, what are the odds? What are the odds of these people discovering these things, inventing these things, and then the numerology matching up? Think about it. Use your brain. Use your common sense. And then you have to ask yourself, is this person divinely guided to discover this element? 69. When I know 69 is the yin and the yang. This element has an atomic weight of 140.908. And of course, I've already talked about the 1-4, and the 1-4 is right here. You see how all this is connected? It's quite clear how it's connected. I'm pausing a lot, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm still in awe at the things I've discovered here, but I'm also pausing so you can get a clear indication and clear thoughts about this, so you can see the great significance of this, of how beautiful, yet complex, yet simple this whole matrix reality is. Now we get into magnetism, okay? Because our matrix reality is designed upon electromagnetism and dielectricity and electricity and torus fields and hyperboloids. And if you haven't studied those, that's fine, but maybe you want to, because the torus field is where it's at, and that's all about electromagnetism. And Kevin and Josh, you guys know all about that stuff. But I'd suggest you study this stuff. I threw this slide out to you guys a while ago, you guys and gals. But, again, what are the odds of that electromagnetism equals the number 59, just like, what this element's protons are. And it being Jesus and Lucifer. There's your north and south, Jesus and Lucifer. It's clear as day. It's clear as day what created our matrix reality. 59. Jesus, Lucifer. The 5 and the 9. So, I threw this in there. I've shown this before. The snake that eats its own tail, 64. 64 squares on a chessboard. The numeric string 64 appears at the 26th decimal digit of pi. The word alchemy equals 22. The word change equals 22. And, that's related to the 46, Jesus, Lucifer. Now, let's bring God into this, because we're talking about the beast, ladies and gentlemen, and that has everything to do with God, because the beast is God. It's part of it. And it speaks for itself. God, I've shown this before, in numerology, there's something as where you just break out the consonants and then you leave the vowels out. The consonants represent the ego personality. The vowels represents the heart desires. That's something about numerology. And keep in mind, back in the Hebrew times, they didn't have vowels. They didn't use them. So you can decode it that way, and there's the 34. And of course, the third card in the tarot is the Empress, and the fourth card is the King, the Emperor, the King and Queen on the chessboard. That represents God, the male-female, the androgynous aspect of God. But just so happens it equals 14. It's kind of interesting because Satan equals 14. Yeah, of course, Satan is God's ego. That's a no-brainer. Now, maybe Satan exists as an entity. I'm not denying that. But who created that entity? It's a hot topic. But anyway, the word God is 374, lithium, nitrogen, and beryllium. It's the most common form of expression of God. And when we break that down using our trusty calculator, we end up getting the numbers 30.031, and that breaks down to zinc and gallium, the 30 and 31st element. I told you already, Demiurge equals 30, just like the word Jehovah equals 30. And then, of course, when we break down 30 and 31 to match what God breaks down to alchemically, we get zinc and gallium equals 16 and 21. And how convenient that breaks down to the only two known emotions that we as humans carry. Everything are all subordinate underneath these two: fear and love, which are the polar opposites of one another. One is malefic, one is benevolent. One is good, one is bad. That's how we coin it. So the creator that we call God has a dualistic yin and yang aspect, just like we do. Just like we do. Now I'm saying loud and clear right here that Jehovah, Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, YHVH, the Tetragrammaton, is the creator of this matrix reality. Period. It's either that or he hijacked it, or it hijacked this matrix reality. Those are the only two logical explanations for what's going on. Either Jehovah created it or he hijacked it. One of the two. But nonetheless, there's numbers that are great significance to that name. And of course, J didn't come around for a long time. It wasn't in the Hebrew language. That's why it was the Yod. Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh. Four-letter name of God, the Tetragrammaton. You don't have to be Jewish to accept this truth. It's just the way it is. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you understand the power in this matrix reality. And then, of course, there is an out, because this is a game of life. Anyways, Jehovah, broken down through alchemy, numerology, and the tarot. I shouldn't say alchemy, but numerology and the tarot. You have the magician, the Hierophant 3 times, the magician twice, chariot, lovers. But look at what it equals. 216. And there's a reason why I have the White House sitting right here, because right there, that triangle is a divine triangle. And if you know anything about the 216, you'll know it's the divine triangle. You got to dig for it, though. I'm giving you the surface aspect of the 216, but that's the divine triangle. That's why it's on the White House. Now, keep in mind, this has 59 letters. Again, who created Earth? 59. Now, we're going to get into physics. We're going to bring deep science into this. And these are the 4 forms on which matter can exist: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Now, that's all about transmutation, transformation. And of course, these 4 elements right here equal the number 61. I thought this actually blew me away when I did this. And I don't even remember how I think I was watching something on plasma. But here, behind the scenes of the pictures, here's the solid, here's the liquid, here's the gas, here's the gas, and then here's the plasma. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma. And those equal 61. And then, of course, that matches up with Jehovah broken down alchemically, because Jehovah broken down alchemically equals the number 61. And that has great significance, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, look at the numbers on top of that. 61.046. Again, masculine, feminine. Jesus, Lucifer equals 46. So I already know. I don't need anybody to tell me I'm right or wrong. I already know these are my truths, but I already know with numbers to support it, and using alchemy, that Jehovah runs this matrix reality, and it is a culmination of the Jesus and Lucifer energy. Like it or not, that's the way it works. Now, the 61st element is Promethium. If maybe you've seen the movie, I don't know where it came out, but Promethium, pretty interesting movie. But look at what the 61st element equals. 46. Just like that of Jesus, Lucifer. Again, you got to ask yourself, what are the odds of these things linking up like that? And when are you going to start living your life clear of denial and understanding that this is the way our matrix reality works? When will you accept that? That's the question I would have for you. Because I'm telling you right now, this is the creator of the matrix reality, or at least the one that hijacked the creator of this matrix reality. It's one or the other. And I can't guarantee one or the other, and I can't assure you it's one or the other. I just know that it's one or the other. Now, Promethium is an interesting story. If you study any Greek mythology, I think it's more of Greek fact than it is mythology. But it's interesting because Prometheus was a Titan. And I mentioned that earlier in the beginning of this video, talking about Godzilla and his nemesis being Titans. And, you know, Prometheus in Greek, that's how you spell it, equals 129. And, of course, we're talking about the 61 because, you know, Jehovah equals 61 through alchemy. And the numeric string 61 appears at the 219th decimal digit of pi, which is right there. It's just configured a little bit differently. That doesn't matter. Those numbers are screaming at us. 129, 219, doesn't matter in which order they're in. It just matters that they're expressing themselves in front of our eyes. So Promethium 46, matching that of Jesus Lucifer. I thought this was a huge standout. Promethium equals the number 144, as in the 144,000 as talked about in the Bible, if you're a Bible thumper. So it all comes around. Snake eats its own tail. Now, I wanted to bring in the Vedic system into this because I wanted to bring the Vedic system into this. And, you know, Brahma, if you know anything about Brahma, if you don't, I'd suggest you go study it. But he's one of the three Hindu deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma is supposedly the creator of the reality that we live in. And of course, it equals 15 as a total. That's the devil card in the tarot. But alchemy is where it's at because it shows us the deeper hidden meanings of everything. And Brahma equals the number 30 using our trusty calculator. And of course, that matches up with Jehovah. So who do you think Brahma is? Well, I'll give you a hint. Starts with the letter J. And there's your answer. Now here's where we get into the beast. Here's where we get into showing you the breakdown of Jesus and Lucifer, the brother and sister. The Cain and Abel, maybe, if you wanted to bring the Bible into this. It's all connected. Jesus is the feminine yin. Lucifer is the masculine white. Those are the pieces on the chessboard. I've shown this over and over. But if you add up these through alchemy, here's Jesus, 15363, and here's Lucifer, 363, 1852, and you break those down using alchemy, Jesus ends up being a 38.049, and Lucifer equals a 58.047. Now, interestingly enough, I told you these are masculine and feminine numbers. The 49 and 47, the words, I am your mother equals 47, and I am your father equals 49. Or I have vice versa. I may have those reversed, but I am your mother, I am your father, right there. And then you have the 38 and the 58. When you add these up, look at the number you get. A double 96. What are the odds of this being the case? Very good when you understand how to decode, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to try to toot my own horn. I'm here to show you truth. This is real truth right here. Because the Creator wants to be found, or at least the Creator that's behind everything wants you to find the truth of what the matter is. And that's the beast. The great beast is 96.096. Because that's what Jesus and Lucifer add up to through alchemy. And you've seen this for the first time. I've never shown this to anybody. But not the last time. Now the numerals of the beast using the Roman aspects. Here it is right here. It's the X, the C, the V, and the I. That's 96. Remember, we're talking about 96.096. So we have 96, which is 25. We have 0, which is 21. Kind of interesting because 0 is 21 and the word love equals 21. The word Saturn equals 21. Kind of interesting there. And then you have, you have 2 9/6s on each side of the decimal. And, in Hebrew, the word beast equals the number 25, just like the word 9/6. So who is the beast? It's right there. 96.096. It's the yin and the yang twice. Feeds itself with pi, giving it its almighty power, because this is the cosmic egg. This is the perfect circle, the never-ending digit. It has all the digits in it, and it's never-ending. It's a black hole. And there it is right there. Female, male, or male, female. Right there, through the numerals of the Roman aspect. Now, I've shown this before. I wanted to bring this in here because I thought it was important. You ask this thing questions, it's going to spit out some answers. How do you spell your name? 96. Where do we go after we die? 96. Who wrote the Bible? 69. Who created numbers? 69. Who created language? 69. The word Jehovah in English ordinal? 69. And then on one Hebrew gematria, the word Jehovah equals the number 96. So, I'll ask you the question. Who's the beast? Who's the great beast? What do you see? I know what I see. To me, it's undeniable. Now we're going to bring the tarot into this. The 96.096. It's the hermit lovers, the decimal digit, and then the decimal place, and then the fool hermit lovers, 096. Now, interestingly enough, how apparent is this? Hermit lovers, fool, hermit lovers, the great beast. Just so happens to equal 119 or 911. Now you know why we press the 911 on the dial pad. Now you know why things happened on 911. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the tough part to swallow is that the great beast controls things in this matrix reality. It feeds off of love and fear. And therefore, the things that go on in our matrix reality, yeah, we blame the devil, right? Well, look what's above that. You got to start using your common sense. Start understanding that the things we've been taught are pretty much false. And you got to start using your own common sense. And that's why you're watching this. So, the 96.096, I haven't been able to make a distinguishment out of what's the female or male side yet. I just know that one is female, one's male. I've labeled them as such. Perhaps this is the accuracy of it. But you have a female and male side. And when you observe it that way, you understand, because of course we're talking about a dualistic nature. So again, we're through the Tarot, we're talking about the hermit, the lovers, and then of course the fool, the hermit, the lovers. And keep in mind, the right side of the decimal, the 096, equals 46, which matches that of Jesus Lucifer. So I know it's embedded in there. I know that Jesus and Lucifer are embedded in this right here, and I know for a fact that it's right there. That's the beast, the great beast. We live in the beast, but that's the great beast. Quite an eye-opener, isn't it? Now I wanted to highlight the 9/6. 9/6, the yin and the yang, equals the number 25. Just like the word adversary, just like the word black sun, just like the word parasite. Now why am I showing you the 25 and adversary is the big standout? Because 9/6 has its duplicate here. And would you agree with me that we're talking about two adversaries here? I'd like to think so. The 9/6 is the adversary. And it's interesting because 9 is 16. 16 is the Tower card, the card of destruction. And of course, the Hermit is the 9th card. It's a very wise energy, but It's a very fearful, destructive energy because the 16 is the Tower card. So it comes to play, man. It comes to really bring energy to this universe. And that's why I have this graph in the background. Now we bring the Tarot a little bit further into this with some added verbiage, some common words and common names that you may know. Now, the 9-6, the male side, the female side of it, is the Hermit Lovers. Now, when you look at these two cards, you know, the old man on the mountain, the wise one, the sage, and then, of course, the lovers, the male and female aspects looking up to the creator. It's a pretty beautiful, you know, rendition of graphics, or what it gives us is pictures. Hermit Lovers equals 47. 9-6 in the tarot equals the number 47, which match up with the Tetragrammaton. So are you going to keep denying that that's not what it is? The God you worship, the God you talk about, if you're a Bible thumper or if you're a Bible believer, I want to tell you straight up right here and right now, you worship the Tetragrammaton. The Bible verses that you read, that you sling, that you practice, that you talk about, is the Tetragrammaton. And I don't care whether you want to try to debate that or not. I'm telling you right now, with this supporting evidence, not just, oh, well, I'm going to pull out my Bible verses. No. The Tetragrammaton, the Yod-He, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever you want to pronounce it, the 47, that's the God of the Bible. Period. That's it. That's the truth of it. That's the great beast. And if you read Isaiah 45 verses 7, it specifically says in that chapter, in that verse, I create darkness and the light. I create evil and good. However you want to slice it. The Tetragrammaton feeds off of fear and love because that's what it is. And there's no room for debate on that, ladies and gentlemen. There's not. You can be a Christian, Catholic, Protestant, Baptist. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. The God that you call God, the God that you worship. You can say it's Jesus. I don't care. Jesus is part of it. He's a subordinate to the Father. This is the Father right here. 96. Or the 096. Maybe a tough pill to swallow for you. But it's the reality of it. It's the Tetragrammaton. It's the 47. And, you know, when you look at these words, you know, I don't know who chose these words. I've said this before. Like, I don't know who. Well, let's call it the White House. Why not the Red House? Why not paint it blue or cream color? Or why do you got to call it the White House? And then, you know, Washington, D.C. Who named it Washington, D.C.? I wasn't there. But what are the odds of these, you know, two big pieces in the District of Columbia matching up to be 47, which matches up with the Tetragrammaton? Well, who has the knowledge? Who's got the wisdom? See, I think most of you, and I was included in that, I was lulled. I had the wool pulled over my eyes. I was fed a bunch of lies. I was led to believe that, you know, there was a separation, but there's not. And, you know, if you've watched the documentary The Family on Netflix, kind of interesting there. I've decoded that. I mean, I'm going to release a video on that, but there's no doubt in my mind there's no separation. It's all the same thing. We've been duped. And, you know, come on, right here, 47. Now, for those of you who are Jordan Maxwell fans, his real name is Russell Pine, but he changed it to Jordan Maxwell. Why do you think he changed it to Jordan Maxwell, right? Well, there's your answer right there, because it equals the number 47. And then, of course, his buddy, Zecharia Sitchin, who wrote many, many books on the Anunnaki, his name equals 47. I wonder what the odds would be if he just kind of like did that without even thinking, like, I'm going to name myself. Because you go and look up his name and you can't find anything. There's no history on the guy. You know? You got to dig, and I haven't been able to find anything. So, doesn't have a middle name. but talks a lot about Nibiru, doesn't he? That's why I got him in here. Now, the right side of the decimal, the 0.096, that's a big significant number as well that it's tied to, because the Fool Hermit Lovers equals the number 72, and we can get into the 72 names of God, what we've been told, the 72. Kind of interesting too, because Fool equals 25, the Fool goes out into the world unblemished, never knows what it feels like to be ripped off, cheated on, screwed over, beat up, punished. That's why he's the Fool, but it's 25. I mean, it's the 9-6. Kind of interesting. The 9-6 in its lowest form right there. And you're talking about the 9-6. It's kind of interesting how these all line up. Now, we bring the 096 and we bring it into the decimal digits of pi. We break it down through alchemy. Interestingly enough, the 72 is nitrogen and helium. And, through alchemy, that's the number 0.006, which, if you break it down, that's the 9.006, another 96. Again, I mean, these are small little things I found. I think there's way much more significance in the presentation. This is just the back end of it. But, I mean, come on, what are the odds? 9.006 being 72, And again, this is a beautiful creation, but yet it's a very demanding one, because the truth is staring you in the face. And maybe you're seeing this for the first time and it's going to be a tough pill for you to swallow. But hey, I'm just here to show you the truth that I found. So pi to 72 decimal places, when we add that up, it equals the number 347. And, the word God is 374, which, again, it doesn't matter which order they're in, it just matters on what the numbers express. So again, pi to 72 decimal places, past the 3 point, equals the number 347, matching that of the 374. Again, you got to ask yourself, man, these are direct hits, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not scrounging. I'm not trying to, pull for things. And, these are legitimate things staring you in the face. What are you going to do with what your beliefs are now? Now we get into the Yin and the Yang, because that is the creator. Jehovah, Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh. Jesus and Lucifer, the Yin and the Yang. It's the 7 and the 10. And the Yin is the magician twice and the Hierophant. When we bring the tarot into this, the Yang is 2 magicians, a Hierophant, and an Empress. Of course, because let there be light needs to give birth to something. And, when we break these down through numerology, not only is it 59 letters, which matches who created Earth and Promethium and, all the other things I've shown you, but it equals the number 192. And through alchemy, 192 is hydrogen, fluorine, and helium, and that, breaking down through our trusty calculator, is yet again a 6-9. 24.009, or the 6.009. That's the Yin and Yang, ladies and gentlemen. 69, 96. You see how this works? It's all connected. Now, I want to break this down even further. 24.009. What is that through alchemy? Well, the 24th element is chromium. The 9th element is fluorine, matching that of the Yin and the Yang. And chromium and fluorine equal the number 69. And then when we add up the atomic weights of these two elements, we get the number 70.939. And we go into the decimal digits of pi. The numeric string 70 appears at the 96th decimal digit of pi. Again, what are the odds? Look at these connections. Undeniable. So what do you see, though? What do you see? Now, let's get into Satan and Jesus. I'm almost finished here. I have a few more slides to go, but Jesus and Satan, 18 and 14. 14 divided by 18 equals 0.777. I didn't even show that. Maybe I did on another slide, but that's silicon and argon. Satan is silicon. Notice the S, the serpent. Jesus is the argon. 27 and 39. Silicon argon equals 41. And that's why I have the chakra points on Jesus, because it's the root chakra to the heart chakra. I told you this in the very beginning. 41. They want to keep you stuck. The great beast. The great beast. 666 is the 41. It's the root chakra, hydrogen, to the heart chakra, krypton. 1 through 36, 666. And then, of course, again, the numeric string 70 appears at the 96th decimal digit of pi. How did I get to 0.70? Because I divided these two. These two are opponents. So I got Jesus punching out Satan here. Kind of cool graph. But it's 27.977 divided by 39.962. We get 0.70. And it's at the 96th decimal digit of pi. Again, what are the odds of these things lining up? I've said that over and over. I'm passionate about this because I need you to see it. Because this is the truth of our matrix reality. Now let's go a little bit further. How about this? The 41. I told you, this is it. The 96. Satan's on the bottom. I put Jesus on the top because, of course, Jesus stands for love. Satan stands for your ego. Satan gets the bad rap, of course. So it's silicon versus argon. But look at what 41 is. It's the root. Here's the chakra points, all four. Root, sacral, solar plex, and heart. That's the terminology that we've always gone by these four chakra points. And look what it equals. 96. Again, another 96. Keeps just staring us in the face. And that's why, if you study theology, the Bible says you're going to know who my name is. Yeah, well, we know who it is. It's 96. Broken down, it's Jesus and Lucifer and Satan, but it's the 96. It's the great beast. And, interestingly enough, silicon and argon in numerology is the 23 and the 18, and when we reduce those down, it's 59. Again, I said this before, who created Earth? 59. So this is where we're stuck in the box. This is the great beast. We're stuck in this box. We got to get out of it. That's why there's 33 steps. In Freemasonry, there's 33 degrees, 34. That's liberation. You want to get past this point. You want to win the heart. Now, 4-1 in numerology is 40. Follow the trail. The numeric string 40 appears at the 70th decimal digit of pi. And then I showed this already. The numeric string 70 appears at the 96th decimal digit of pi. 96, ladies and gentlemen, that is the number of the great beast. Part of it. Now, Satan and Jesus, 14 versus 18. Yes, I did say this, 0.777. That's why Vegas has on their slot machines 777. Because it's keeping you stuck in the great beast. 666. From the 1 to the 4. Satan and Jesus. Here are their cards in the tarot. Satan is the magician and emperor. Jesus is the magician and the strength. He's got the strength card. Okay? And when you take these and break them down through numerology, Jesus is the 50 and Satan is the 52. Magician emperor versus magician strength. And when you divide those into one another, look at what we get. Oh boy, another 96. Boy, this is getting old, isn't it? Is this getting old? It's getting monotonous because it keeps repeating itself over and over. Because it's trying to tell you a freaking story. It's trying to tell you the truth. It wants to be found. Again, Jesus and Satan are adversaries of one another. That's why I have Yoda and Darth Vader. Beautiful story from Star Wars. George Lucas knew that. Matter of fact, George Lucas equals 41. How about that? I think this is my last slide. This is. Thanks for bearing with me. I hope you learned a lot of stuff. I got more to show you, man, besides this, but this is the starting point. This is long enough, but George Lucas had it right. Star Wars had it right. Now, I don't know if these guys sat down with their characters with a pen and paper and grabbed out a numerology. They didn't have these calculators back then in the 70s. I wouldn't think so. So they'd have to do it all on paper. But to come up with these names, and then, I know these guys, if they were to see, I hope George Lucas one day sees this, my techniques, because I know they're accurate. I know they are, because I have enough supporting evidence, and they've never seen it decoded like this before. I hope they see it one day, and they know that they were divinely guided by the Tetragrammaton, because there's no other explanation for it. Notice Yoda's a 13, which is the death card. Kind of interesting there, but it's death and regeneration. But Yoda's a 1741. The Yod. That's where the Yoda got his name from. Yod. Yod-He-Vah-He. And then Darth Vader. 16 and 18. Tower and Moon. There's significance there. But Yoda breaks down to a 25.031 with his alchemy aspects. And then Darth Vader breaks down with a 71.078 aspects through alchemy for him. And then when we add those up, get the number 96 once again. Once again, we get the number 96. You know, keep in mind at the very top, Yoda, Darth Vader equal 47, matching that of the Tetragrammaton. And again, you know, did these guys sit down with a piece of paper and try to figure it out? I don't know. Not sure. Wasn't there. I would probably say I doubt it, but who knows? Wasn't there. But again, you know, I remind you, how do you spell your name? 96. It's Tetragrammaton. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying, these are my truths, my opinions, but saying is that the Tetragrammaton, the Yod-He, the Y, YHVH, Jehovah, Yahweh, it's all the same freaking thing. Jesus and Lucifer are its personalities, and Satan is part of it. Now, maybe Satan did get thrown to earth. I don't know. It's kind of really irrelevant, because the game of life that we're all playing is important to understand, because you got to get past this heart chakra right there. And most people are not. They're stuck down here, because society wants to keep you stuck down in the root and the sacral. Remember, man, sacral, this is the sex. You know, I don't know if you understand how big the porn industry is, but it's larger than all the sports industries combined. And it surpasses Google and Netflix and all the big boys. That's how big it is. And they want to keep you stuck here. You want to get stuck there? Cool, you're going to lose the game of life. You got to get up here, because you want to get up to the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. And that's what you want to get up to, is the top chakras. But if you want to stay stuck down here with the Yahweh, the Yod, and be recycled, be reincarnated again, by all means, go ahead. There's ways to win this game, ladies and gentlemen. But this is what runs our matrix reality, man. Jesus and Satan, Jesus and Lucifer, the Yod, the Yin and the Yang, it's all part of it. All of it. That is the creator. That is the great beast. Right there, the 96.096. It feeds itself. 2 adversaries. 1 adversary, 2 adversary. Remember, 96 is adversary, with pi in the middle. It's rather interesting. That's exactly what our matrix reality is all about. Right there, staring you in the face. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with this information? You're going to refute it? You're going to deny it? You're going to go back to your old ways? You're going to go pull your Bible out and try to break it down some other way and try to refute it? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to pull your Bible out and tell me that I'm wrong? Oh, well, no, that's not the way it is. I got news for you, man. This is the way it is. We've been duped. We've been tricked. We've been lied to. You know, we've had the woolly pulled over our eyes. This is your creator right here of this matrix reality. And don't get it twisted. This is what you call your God. That's what you say. God, I talk to God. Every time you say I talk to God, this is what you're talking to. The 30 and 31, which is fear and love. That's what you're talking to. Right there. Every time you say God, that's what you're talking to. Just a different form. It's all just whisper down the lane. That's why they know exactly in Washington, D.C. Right there. There's the divine triangle. They know. They've known all along. They just have fooled you. They know it's all about electromagnetism and electricity and dielectricity and torus fields. They already knew all that kind of stuff, but you didn't know. So they created this story. They fabricated it, threw a book at you. The book, of course, was divinely inspired by this entity right there. Of course. Wants worship. Feeds off energy. That's what it is. Right there. I mean, we even got, comic book heroes that are directly related to this entity right here. So that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you watching. I know this has been a long video, my longest video to date, but a lot of information to share. I got more to go. I paused a lot because I wanted you to think. I wanted you to understand that what you've been told has been merely lies. And here's the truth. And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with it? Sands in the clock are running out. It's the great beast that we're stuck in. So that's all I got for today. My name's Logan. This is Decode Your Reality. I really appreciate you watching. Until next time.